Hi everyone, welcome to Unacademy, which is the India's largest learning platform. So, in today's session, we have got two objectives. Okay, the first and the foremost objective is nothing but we'll be discussing about the glacial landforms. After discussing the glacial landforms, in addition, I'm also discussing the coastal landforms. Apart from that, we'll also discuss the other running water, wind, and also rain, groundwater landforms. So all this will be discussed in today's sessions. Okay. First, we'll make a beginning with the introduction of the platform. So we are an academy, which is the India's largest learning platform. And being part of an academy, you get access to the top educators of the platform. You can see myself, Narasimha Reddy Kyasaram. One second. You can see Amanat sir. You can see Suresh Babu sir. Like this, you can see top educators on the platform. And many of you are logged in. So let's say hi. Okay, you can ping hi so that I would get to know that who is present online. Okay, very good. So these top educators would be available for you to give access to lot of topics, lot of subjects. The best part of an academy. For example, as I said, NRK10 is my referral code. NRK10. When you use my referral code, remember that you can access any educator's sessions, not only my sessions. So you can have unlimited access. Okay. And all classes can be live. You can also listen to the recorded classes. And educators, experience educators, and interactive polls, very, very important. And very important point is nothing but live doubt clearing sessions. So whenever there is a session, let's say that we have taken a topic of geography. Now geography will organize that complete course into, let's say, some 30-40 sessions. Now, for example, if I'm organizing some 30 sessions, for every 3 sessions, there will be one doubt clearing sessions. Means what? 30 main sessions and 10 doubt clearing sessions. So every doubt will be clarified in the doubt clearing session. And MCQ test series is available. You can write a hell lot of examinations, and that is almost contributes 50% of your performance. And you can get personal guidance from the mentors also. Okay. Basically all this is online, so you can study from home. And very important point is that you can make payment through EMI also. That's important point. So to reduce the financial burden, okay, if to prevent you from paying all the money at one shot, you can use the option of EMI, so that without any interest also you can make the payment. And after completing every class that we complete, after completing every class, you can also download the PDF format of the content that has been used in the examination. That's important point. And those who are attempting theory examinations, such as group 1 mains, all those things, answer reading sessions are also being organized for you people. Okay, so these are the benefits of being part of an academy. Okay, now coming to the how do you become part of an academy? In order to become a part of academy full-fledged, you can go for a subscription. You can go for a subscription. Now when you wanted to go for subscription, choose your required tenure. You may be needing 6 months, you may be needing 1 year, you may be needing 2 years. For example, if your goal is a long-term goal, for example, let's say as of now there is no notification of group 1 did not come, but you may expect a group 1 notification, let's say after 6 months. Now by the time you start your preparation, by the time you give prelims, by the time you give mains, it will take good amount of time. Now maybe 6 months subscription may not be sufficient for you. Definitely be useful but not sufficient. Then you can go for 1 year subscription, or you can go for 2 year subscription. But you go for any subscription, okay, do remember that 10% of discount can be availed by using the referral code NRK10. So when you use the referral code called as NRK10, you get a 10% of discount on your subscription fee. That's the important point. Okay, so remember this referral code NRK10. Okay, next, how do you take subscription? For example, you have got your mobile phone, you logged into the app. What is that app? An Academy app. Now here you find different tenures, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. Now select your choice of month. 12 months you want or 24 months you want, you can take, and you get the fees. Now when you go for the payment, do not forget to use the referral code, because by using this referral code, your fee will be reduced by 10%, NRK 10. So by using the referral code NRK 10, your fees will reduce by 10%. After the reduction, when you apply that, okay, you apply your credits also, you get reduced fees. With that reduced fees, you can make payment either through credit card, through debit card. You can also use EMI options. If you are using 6 months or 12 months or 24 months EMI option, then obviously, okay, when you're taking that subscription, you'll have a no cost, no interest EMI. Okay, so this is how you become part of an academy, right? So this is about the platform. Now let's move on to our discussion of the topic. So first what I will do is that as we have put in the topic glacial landforms, we will first discuss the glacial landforms, then we'll go for the other landforms. Okay, chalo, welcome now. What are these glacial landforms? What do you understand by glacial landforms? See, you know that there is something called as a glacier. What is it called as a glacier? Now, when you say glacier, what exactly it means? It is nothing but a huge block of ice. Huge block of ice. Okay. Now, when this huge block of ice undergoes a movement, means it moves from, when it displaces from its place. Why will a huge block ice displace? For example, let us say underneath the ice got melt. When ice gets melt underneath, obviously there will be a movement of this ice. So when the ice is moving away, okay, on any hard surface, in the process of movement, it will take away some rocks, it will take away landforms, it will cut the landform. By cutting the landforms, you get some topographies called as erosional topographies. What do you call it as? Erosional topographies. Now, when you take some material with it, when you take some mud, some rocks, everything, some pebbles, and you take all them and deposit them at some place. When you deposit, you get something called as a depositional landforms. So, basically, you got erosional landforms and you also got depositional landforms. Okay, what are erosional landforms? Cirques, horns, ridges, okay, glacial valleys, hanging valleys. All these are nothing but erosional landforms. What are depositional landforms? Moraines, outwash plains, eskers, drumlins. All these are nothing but depositional landforms. Okay. Now we will try to see each and every one. Now, when the glaciers are moving, generally, when they are moving, two types of process can occur. Okay. What are the two types of process that occur? Okay. One type of process is called as abrasion. What is it called as abrasion? Abrasion. Other type of process is called as a plucking. Other type of process called as a plucking. What is the meaning of abrasion? What is the meaning of plucking? Just here. Whatever you see this white wala, this is nothing but glacier. Now let's say the glacier is moving like this. Okay, glacier is moving like this. When the glacier is moving like this part abrasion will happen, and this part the plucking will happen. Now what is this abrasion? What is this plucking? First let's say plucking. Let's go to abrasion only. Okay. Abrasion occurs when the rocks and stones become embedded in the base and sides of the glacier. Now there is unevenness here. When there is unevenness here like this, when the glacier is moving like this, what glacier will do? Because of the force extended by glacier, that will become even. That will become even. So మీరు చూసుంటారు ఏంటి road roller. So when road roller is moving on a muddy surface, the muddy surface will become even. When they are laying down the roads, they will move road roller on that. Why? To make it even. That's called abrasion. What is it called as abrasion? Now on the other side, for example, a glacier was here, for example. Now what happened? Underneath, okay, there are some rocks, uneven rocks. Now into this uneven rocks, what happened? The water went inside. After water getting inside, the water became into ice. Now our water became ice. That ice is a part of this big glacier. Okay, means what? The ice got tightly caught that rocks in that place. Now the ice is holding the rocks very tight. Then what happened? The movement of the glacier took place. Now when the glacier is moving, what will happen? It will pluck the rocks because the ice has held the rock so tight that the rock is caught tightly by the ice. When the ice is moving, it will pluck away those rocks and it will go. That is called as a plucking. What is it called as a plucking? See very good. Plucking is when you melt water from a glacier. ఈ గ్లేషియర్ ఉంది కదండి, గ్లేషియర్ నుండి మెల్ట్ అయిన వాటర్ ఫ్రీజెస్ అరౌండ్ లమ్స్ ఆఫ్ క్రాక్డ్ అండ్ బ్రోకెన్ రాక్. అంటే ఆ రాక్ చుట్టుపక్కల ఏవైతే క్రాక్స్ ఉంటాయో ఆ క్రాక్స్లోకి వాటర్ వెళ్ళిపోయి అక్కడ మొత్తం అది ఏమవుతుంది, ఐస్ లాగా ఫామ్ అయిపోతుంది. ఐస్ లాగా ఫామ్ అయిపోయి మొత్తం గ్లేషియర్ అంతా ఒక ఐస్ లాగా అయిపోతుంది. ఐస్ లాగా అయిన తర్వాత ఏమవుతుంది, నౌ వెన్ ద ఐస్ మూవ్స్ డౌన్ హిల్, ఐస్ కిందికి వెళ్తున్నప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, ఆ రాక్స్ అన్నింటినీ పట్టేసుకుంది కదా, ఆ రాక్స్ కూడా లాగేసుకుని తీసుకెళ్ళిపోతుంది. అంటే అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి రాక్స్ని బయటికి లాగేస్తుంది అనమాట. సో ద రాక్ ఈస్ ప్లక్డ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద బ్యాక్ వాల్. ప్లక్కింగ్ ఈస్ పర్టికులర్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ వెన్ ద రాక్ కంటైన్స్ జాయింట్స్ ఆర్ క్రాక్స్ అండ్ వాటర్ కెన్ సీప్ ఇన్ టు ఇట్. అంటే ఇలాగా ఒక రాక్ ఉందండి, ఇలా రాక్ ఉంది, వాటర్ వచ్చేసి ఇలా ఇలా ఫామ్ అయిపోయినాయి, వాటర్ ఇలా ఇలా వాటర్ ఫామ్ అయిపోయినాయి. ఈ వాటర్ ఇలా ఫామ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇట్ బికేమ్ ఇంటూ ఐస్. It became into what? Ice. Ice. Now that is all become part of a big glacier. That's all become part of a big glacier. Now when the glacier is moving like this, what is happening? This rock is being plucked. This rock is being plucked. So ఆ రాక్స్ అన్నింటినీ తీసేసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. దాన్ని మనం ఏమంటామో ప్లక్కింగ్ అని చెప్పేసి అంటాం. ఈ విధంగా మనకి ఏమవుతుందంటే ఎరోషన్ అనేది జరుగుతుంది. ఎరోషన్ అనేది అలా జరుగుతుంది అన్నమాట. కాబట్టి గ్లేషియర్ మూమెంట్ వల్ల మనకు ఎరోషన్ ఎలా జరుగుతుంటే అలా జరుగుతుంది. అయితే మనకు ఈ యొక్క గ్లేషియర్స్ మూమెంట్ వల్ల మనకి ఇవన్నీ ఏర్పడుతుంది. ఏంటవి? సర్క్యూ, అరేట్, హార్న్, హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీ, గ్లేషియర్ వ్యాలీ, ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. ఏంటి ఫస్ట్ మీకు పిక్చర్ చూపిస్తాను, తర్వాత మీకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాను, విల్ బి వెరీ క్లియర్. చూడండి కదా, ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఓకే సర్క్యూ. ఈ సర్క్యూకి వచ్చేద్దాం. ఈ సర్క్యూ అంటే ఏంటంటే గ్లేషియర్ ఇలా మూవ్ అయిపోతున్నప్పుడు కిందికి, వెన్ ద గ్లేషియర్ ఇస్ మూవింగ్ డౌన్ లైక్ దిస్, ఓకే, గ్లేషియర్ విల్ క్రియేట్ ఏ లో ల్యాండ్, వ్యాలీస్ లాగా ఇలా క్రియేట్ చేస్తూ పోతుంది. ఈ వ్యాలీస్ లాగా ఏవైతే క్రియేట్ అయిపోతున్నాయో వీటిని మనం ఏమంటామంటే సర్క్యూస్ అని చెప్పేసి అంటాం. ఏమంటాము? సర్క్యూస్. సో సర్క్యూస్ ఆర్ నథింగ్ బట్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద ప్లేసెస్ వేర్ ద బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద మూమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ద ఏరియాస్ ద లో లైక్ ఏరియాస్ ఆర్ క్రియేటెడ్. వీటిని మనం ఏమంటామంటే సర్క్యూస్ అని చెప్పేసి అంటూ ఉంటాం అన్నమాట. ఏమంటాము? సర్క్యూస్ అని చెప్పేసి అంటాం. ఇది ఫస్ట్ వన్. సెకండ్ అరీట్. అరీట్ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ ఒక సర్క్యూ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ ఒక సర్క్యూ ఉంది. రెండు సర్క్యూస్ ఉన్నప్పుడు మధ్యలో ఎలా ఉంటుంది, మనకు ఒక హైలాండ్ అనేది ఇలాగ రిడ్జ్ లాగా ఫామ్ అవుతుంటుంది మన కదా. ఈ రిడ్జ్ లాగా ఉన్నదాన్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే అరీట్ అని చెప్పేసి అంటాం. ఏమంటాం వీటిని మనము? అరీట్ అంటాం. సో హియర్ దేర్ ఇస్ వన్ సర్క్యూ, హియర్ దేర్ ఇస్ వన్ సర్క్యూ, టూ సర్క్యూస్, మధ్యలో ఏంటి? అరీట్. మధ్యలో ఏంటి? అరీట్ అనమాట. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ హార్న్. ఈ హార్న్ ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ ఒక సర్క్యూ ఉంది, అటొక సర్క్యూ ఉంది, ఇటొక సర్క్యూ ఉంది, అన్ని చోట్ల ఒక సర్క్యూ ఉన్నప్పుడు మధ్యలో ఏమవుతుంది, ఒక హిల్ లాగా అన్ని సైడ్లో ఉండే పైకి ఉండే ఒక హిల్ లాగా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. దీన్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే హార్న్ అని చెప్పేసి పిలుస్తాం. ఏమని పిలుస్తాం దీన్ని మనము? హార్న్ అని చెప్పేసి పిలుస్తాం. ఓకే, ఏ డిప్రెషన్ ఫార్మ్డ్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద presence of the glacier at that point is called టార్న్ అంటాం. దాన్ని మనము టార్న్ అంటాం. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, ఇలా వచ్చింది సర్క్యూ. ఈ వచ్చిన సర్క్యూ ఏమైపోయింది, ఓకే, ఇక్కడ వరకు వచ్చేసి స్టీప్గా కింది పడిపోయింది. అవునా? ఇక్కడ వరకు ఇలా వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఇలా పడిపోయింది. బట్ దీన్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీ అంటాం. ఏమంటామంటే దీన్ని మనము హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీ. ఎందుకు హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీ? ఇది ఒక వ్యాలీ, ఇది ఒక వ్యాలీ. ఇది ఏమైనా గ్రౌండ్ కానుకుందా? లేదు, ఎత్తులో ఉంది. ఎత్తులో ఉంది కాబట్టి దీన్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీ అంటాం. ఏమంటాము? హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీ అంటాం. ఈ హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీస్ అన్నీ వచ్చేసి ఎక్కడ కలుస్తాయి? గ్లేషియల్ ట్రఫ్. ట్రఫ్ అంటే ఒక గుంత. హ్యూజ్ గ్లేషియర్ మూమెంట్ వల్ల ఒక ట్రఫ్ అనేది ఏర్పడుతుంది. ఆ ట్రఫ్లో వచ్చేసి ఎవరు కలుస్తారు? హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీ కలుస్తారు. సో మరొక్కసారి ఇవన్నీ మీకు చూపిస్తాను, ఒకసారి చూడండి జాగ్రత్తగా. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ అండ్ ఫార్మోస్ట్. సో ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే పింక్ చేయండి. మేము మీ యొక్క చార్ట్ చూస్తున్నాను, చార్ట్లో మీరు పింక్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకేనా? ఫస్ట్ అండ్ ఫార్మోస్ట్, ఓకే, ఈ గ్లేషియర్ మూమెంట్ వల్ల కొన్ని వ్యాలీస్ అనేవి ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. ఆ వ్యాలీస్ని మనం ఏమంటాము? సర్క్యూస్ అంటాం. ఏమంటాము? సర్క్యూస్ అంటాం. రెండు సర్క్యూలు పక్క పక్కన ఉంటే మధ్యలో ఫామ్ అయ్యేదాన్ని మనం ఏమంటాము? అరీట్ అని చెప్పేసి అంటాం. ఏమంటాము? అరీట్ అని చెప్పేసి అంటాం. ఓకేనా? ఈ విధంగా మనకు ఈ యొక్క సర్క్యూట్స్ అనేది ఒక దాని చుట్టూ ఫామ్ అయినాయి అనుకోండి, దాన్ని మనం ఏమంటాము? హార్న్ అంటాం. హార్న్ అంటే ఒక హిల్ లాగా ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. అన్ని చీరల కిందికి ఉంటుంది, ఒకటి పైన ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, ఒక డిప్రెషన్స్ ఏవైతే పైన ఫామ్ అవుతాయో గ్లేషియర్ యొక్క రెసిడింగ్ అయి మూవ్మెంట్ అవ్వాలి, దాన్ని మనం టాన్ అని చెప్పేసి పిలుస్తాం. అయితే ఈ యొక్క సర్క్యూట్స్ వచ్చేసి ఏమైతే సడన్గా కిందికి పడిపోతాయి. కిందికి పడిపోవడం వల్ల దీన్ని మనం ఏమంటాము? హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీస్ అంటాం. ఏమంటాం వీటిని మనము? హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీస్ అంటాం. ఈ హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీస్ అని వచ్చి ఎక్కడ కలుస్తాయి? గ్లేషియల్ ట్రఫ్లో కలుస్తాయి. ఆయమ్మ మాధవి, గ్లేషియల్ ట్రఫ్లో ఈ హ్యాంగింగ్ వ్యాలీస్ అన్నీ వచ్చి చూడంగా కలిసిపోతాయి. ఓకే, ఐస్ హరైన్, ఎస్ ఎస్, సాక్ష్యం హైరన్, ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్ యూ డౌట్స్. ఓకే, సో ఇవన్నీ వచ్చేసి ఇలా ఫామ్ అయిపోతాయి అనమాట. ఓకే, వెరీ నైస్ సాక్ష్యం, ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్ యూ డౌట్స్. సో ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనకు ఉన్నటువంటి ఏంటి? ఎరోషనల్ ల్యాండ్ ఫార్మ్స్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ గ్లేషియర్స్. గ్లేషియర్స్ వల్ల ఏర్పడేటువంటి ఎరోషనల్ ల్యాండ్ ఫార్మ్స్. ఓకేనా? యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్ యువర్ డౌట్స్ వెన్ ఎవర్ ఐ సీ యువర్ కమెంట్, ఐ విల్ ఆన్సర్ యువర్ డౌట్స్. ఓకే, అయితే ఇక్కడ గ్లేషియర్స్లో మూవ్ అయిపోతున్నప్పుడు ఏమో చేస్తారంటే ఆ యొక్క శాండ్ పార్టికల్స్ని, సాయిల్స్ని, రాక్స్ని మొత్తం తీసుకొస్తాయి. ఎవరు తీసుకొస్తారు? యా, ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్ డౌట్ సాక్ష్యం. ఐఎమ్ సీయింగ్ యువర్ కమెంట్, ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్ డౌట్. ఓకే, సో అది వస్తున్నప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తారంటే దే విల్ బ్రింగ్ ఆల్ ద రాక్స్ అండ్ శాండ్. ఓకే, they will bring and they will actually deposit all these rocks. Now when they deposit all these rocks, okay, when they deposit all these rocks, these are called as the moraines. ఏమంటే వీటిని మనము మొరైన్స్ అని చెప్పేసి పిలుస్తూ ఉంటాం. వాట్? మొరైన్స్. ఓకే, సో మొరైన్ is a material left behind by a moving glacier. This material usually soil or rock. ఓకే, సో దీన్ని మనము సాయిల్ కానీ రాక్ కానీ అంటూ ఉంటాం అన్నమాట. సో దీస్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ మొరైన్స్. అయితే మొరైన్స్లో మనకు చాలా చాలా రకాలు అనమాట. ఎస్, సో ఒకటి వచ్చేసరికి మనకు లాటరల్ మొరైన్స్, అంటే పక్క పక్కన ఉంటాయి కదా లాటరల్ మొరైన్స్. ఇంకోటి వచ్చేసరికి మనకు ఎండ్ మొరైన్స్. సో ఇక లాస్ట్ డిపాజిట్ చూడండి, ఇవన్నీ ఎండ్ మొరైన్స్ అనమాట. సో దేర్ ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ టెర్మినల్ మొరైన్స్, దే ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ యాజ్ రిసెషన్ మొరైన్స్ అని చెప్పేసి అంటూ ఉంటాం. ఓకే, సో దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ నథింగ్ బట్ మొరైన్స్. సో మొరైన్స్ అనేవి ఏంటంటే దీస్ ఆర్ ద రాక్స్ ఆర్ ద పార్టికల్స్ దట్ ఆర్ కమింగ్ అండ్ deposit at the end. Okay, so this is with respect to what? Moraines. Now coming this outwash plains. What are these outwash plains? These ఇంతకుముందు మొరైన్స్ కూడా మనకు depositional landforms. Outwash plains is also depositional landforms. I didn't understand what exactly you meant, Mr. Harayan. Okay, so can you understand Telugu? Like, is it difficulty in understanding Telugu? Harayan. Saksham Harayan. Okay, if you got any difficulty, do let me know. Okay, any genuine doubt, do ask me. Okay, so next one is nothing but one more outwash plains. This is a depositional landform. What exactly is? Now this is a big glacier. This is a big glacier. Okay, this is a big glacier. Now what happens is that underneath this glacier, the water keeps on melting out. Okay, so whatever the water that melts, they'll bring all the sand along with that and they create a plain. These are called as outwash plains. What are they called as? Outwash plains. So it is a plain formed by glacial sediments deposited by melted water outwash at the terminus of the glacier. So this is the termination of the glacier. So this is the end point of the glacier. Underneath whatever the water melts, they bring actually all this sand and this will be deposited here. This will be deposited here. So these are called as outwash plains. What are they called as? Outwash plains. See, a very very important eskers. What exactly are these eskers? What exactly are these eskers? Now, when this, let's say this is a glacier, when the glacier is moving down like this, okay, what happens is that here let us say there is a hard rocky highlands. Now when the glacier is moving, as the base is lost, the top particle will fall down. When the top particle will fall down, they will be carried away by the glacier. They will be carried by a glacier. When they are carried by a glacier, what will happen? These rocks will be aligned in like just like a ridges. Okay, they will be aligned just like a ridges, like this. Okay, so these are called as eskers. These are called as what? Eskers. These are called as eskers. Okay. Okay. So these are called as eskers. These are called as eskers. Okay. Now see here. These are called as eskers. Then we have got something called came also. What is this came? When the rock particles are, for example, when the glacier is moving like this, some rock particles are being deposited not like this straight, but rather than depositing straight, okay, they are being deposited at one place like this, and that is called as a came. So basically, the difference between a came and this one, the difference between a came and a esker is nothing but in came they get deposited like a mound. Okay, in eskers they get deposited like a ridges. So there is a prime difference between came and eskers. There is a prime difference between came and esker. Okay, so this is with respect to eskers. This is also a depositional landform. This is also what? Depositional landform. Okay. Next one, drumlins. See here, because of the movement of the glacier, sometimes the deposition happens in this form. How deposition happens? One is on one side you can high fall, one it will be very slanting like this. Now this kind of deposition is called as the drumbling. So this kind of bodies you see all over the world. All over the world there are a lot of drumlins that are seen. A low oval mound. Oval mound in the sense, what is the oval shape? This is called as a oval shape. Okay. So a mound is formed in the oval shape. Small hill. And typically one of a group consists of compacted boulder clay molded by past glacial action. So when the mound is like this, it means that the glacier has moved like this. So if the glacier has moved like this, obviously it will deposit like this. It will deposit like this, and this is called as a mound, and this is called as a drumlin. Hi Sairam, very good evening. Okay, this is called as a drumlin. Next, see here. Whatever we discussed, everything is in a single picture. Everything is a single picture. See here. First of all, eskers. I told you, no? There will be deposition happening in a serial way, and that is called as a eskers. Okay, moraines. So whatever the glacier that is bringing all its sediments are deposited at one place. That's called as moraines. Okay, and you can see something called as a drumlin. See oval-shaped mounds which have been deposited by the moving glacier. Okay, so these are all called as a drumlin field. What is that called? Drumlin. And here you got moraines, and here also you got moraines. See, these are called as a terminal moraines or end moraines. What are they called as a terminal high LS? Terminal moraines or end moraines. Now, when the glacier stops here, the water underneath will come out, bringing the sediments, and this is called as a outwash plains. What are they called as a outwash plains? When a glacier is present at a place for a long period of time, it will create a lowland there. After creating a lowland, what will happen? The glacier will melt, creating some water, and these are called as the kettle lakes. What are they called as? Kettle lakes. Means what? The glacier water is getting melt in that lowland and creating a lake that is called as a kettle lake. So these are nothing but different types of glacier landforms. So once again, I'll repeat. Okay. See, some people wanted to disturb the sessions. So don't worry about that. Okay, take things in a positive way, but don't give due attention to that. Okay, see, it's their problem. Let's be very professional. Okay, So basically, because of the movement of the glaciers, we will have two things. One is the erosional landforms and one is the depositional landforms. So when you come to erosional landforms, cirques, horns, one second, cirques, horns, ridges, glacial valleys, glacial troughs, hanging valleys. All these are nothing but these are the erosional landforms. Where did we see this? We can see all these things here. Okay, cirques, horns. These are called as arids. Okay, these are hanging valleys. These are called glacial troughs. So if you see the definition, first cirque. I told you I will show you definition later on, right? Here. A bowl-shaped depression. What kind of depression is that? A bowl-shaped depression. Okay. On the side or near mountains, like this depression. This shaped depression. So that is called as what? Cirque. Arete. What exactly is arete? Arete is nothing but a thin crust of rock left after two adjacent glaciers have worn a steep ridge into a rock. Means what? Here there is a cirque. Here there is a cirque. Now when there is cirque, there is a between you can see a highland, right? This is called as the arete. This is called as what? Arete. Horn. When glaciers erode, three or more arides. Three or more arides means what? Here there is one aride. Let's say here there is one aride. 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 When arids are on three sides, this part will be like a center for all these things. And this is called as what? Horn. That's called as a horn. Hanging valley. Hanging valley is a shallow valley curved by a small glacier and thus the elevation of the valley floor is hanging. So I told you now, small glacier thus elevation of hanging floor, shallow valley curved by a small glacier. This is called as a hanging valley. This is called as a hanging valley. Okay. Glacial valley or glacial trough. What is glacial valley? A steep-sided U-shaped valley formed by erosional forces of a moving glacier. So this is nothing but a glacial valley or glacial trough. This part. Okay. So all these are nothing but erosional landforms. Coming to the depositional. Moraines are depositional landforms. All the rocks that it brings, it will put at one point. This is called as the moraines. And outwash plains. When the glacier comes and stops at one point, and underneath the water gets melt. Water is not melt from top, but water is melt underneath. The melted water will bring all these sediments, and that will create a plain that is called as a outwash plains. Okay, and you've got eskers. What are eskers? When the glacier is moving, glacier will deposit in the form of a ridge. See, these are depositional, whereas what we spoke about arid, that is the erosional. These are depositional. So like this. So if it deposits in a long row like this, these are called as eskers. But deposition is happening at one place like this. This is called as a came. What is it called as? Cames. So they'll ask you difference between a cames and eskers. Both are glacier deposits, but a came is like a one small hill and eskers are like a long ridge. So there's a difference between both of them. Okay. Drumlins, a low oval mound or small hill, typically one of a group consists of a compacted clay mound lies. So oval shaped hill is called as a drumlin. Very simple. Okay. So these are all nothing but these are the glacial landforms. Okay. Very nice. Now we will get into the coastal landforms or coastal topography. Means what? When the ocean water is coming and hitting the land, they will create certain landforms at the coast, and these are called as the coastal landforms. So the landforms created at the coast are called as the coastal landforms. What are they? Erosional. Cliffs are erosional landforms. Terraces, caves, stacks. These are erosional. What are depositional? Offshore bar, barrier bar, spits, all these are depositional. What exactly are they? Let us try to see here. Now this will come to this later on. See here. Okay. Now this is a land and this is the ocean. Now waves are coming and hitting like this. When waves are coming and hitting like this, we will keep on hitting these rocks. When they keep on hitting this rock, some part of the rock will get withered away from here. It can be because of a chemical action of the water, or it can be because of the force of the water. Now a cave got created here. What got created? A cave got created. Even after the creation of cave, again water will be coming and hitting. When it keeps on hitting slowly, what happens? This side completely will get eroded, means from year to year you can go, and this is what is called as a arch. What is that called as arch? So a cave will eventually convert into arch. A cave will eventually means first it will be formed as a cave. Okay, second it will convert into arch. It will convert into arch. For example, now arch has formed. Now again the water is coming and hitting. Now what happened? It broke complete rock like this. This complete rock got broken away from this rock. Now what is remaining is called as a stack. So means what? Arch again converted into something called as a stump or stack. Arch got converted into something called as a stack. Means what? Earlier both of them were together. First when they were together, first what formed? Cave formed. After cave it became arch. After becoming arch it became something called as a stack. It became something called a stack, big one like this. Okay, now after becoming a stack also, just a second, I'm in a session also. I'll call you after that. I'm in a session. A session lo unnanu, malli call chestanu. I'm sorry for the call. Yeah. So basically things are changing like this. First a cave will be formed. After the cave it will become an arch. After the arch it will become a stack. Against that stack also will be eroded on top and it will form something called as a stump, small rocks. Whenever you go to some oceans, you see these rocks in between the oceans. How are these formed? These are because of the force of the waves coming and hitting these lands. Yes or no? So that is how these are formed. These are called as coastal topographies. What kind of topographies? Erosional topographies. So cave to arch, arch to stack, stack to stump, stack to stump. Now when the water comes too much inside and breaks, then it will also create something called as a bay. It will create something called as a bay. Okay, so Bay of Bengal, like that bay. Okay, and beach is nothing but deposit. Here sand will be deposited. This beach can be formed either because of the deposits coming from the rivers or because of the tides throwing up sand here. So they will also result into something called as a beach. So these are nothing but different landforms. What landforms? Erosional landforms. Now we will see depositional landforms. What is that called? Depositional landforms. Now have you seen here? What is this? The sand of the ocean came and started depositing here, and it deposited that it is actually not completely covering. It is covering partially. 50% is being covered. Now with the 50% coverage, if the sand is deposited like this and ocean water is getting in, ocean water is getting out. And this is called as a barrier spit. What is it called as a barrier spit? So sometimes you can come till here and you can see the beauty of the ocean like this. Okay, this is called as a barrier spit. For example, if this barrier spit comes and covers entirely, then this is called as a bay barrier. What is that called as a bay barrier? Because what is inside is a bay. For that it is like a barrier. Means it is stopping the ocean water there. But ocean water will sometimes come in, and inside there will be a lake created. That lake is called as a lagoon. What is the lake called as a lagoon? So first barrier spit will be formed. After barrier spit, if it extends, it will become a bay barrier. Once it becomes a bay barrier, inside a lagoon will get formed. Lagoon is nothing but a salt water lake formed on account of the ocean water. What is it called as a lagoon? What is it called as a lagoon? Okay, so like this, these are some of the depositional landforms on the oceans. Depositional landforms on the oceans. Okay, so like this, we have got all these coastal landforms. Okay, now remember that we'll also get into other landforms before. Okay, let's see here. Some things we missed out in the last class. I'll also show you that. Okay, see here. So basically we're discussing about all landforms related to erosion and deposition. And I told you that Erosional and depositional landforms are formed on account of running water, groundwater, glaciers, waves and current, and winds. If it is formed on account of running water, it's called alluvial topography. If it is formed on account of groundwater, it is called as a karst topography. It is formed on account of the glaciers, called glacial topography. If it is formed on account of the waves and currents, it is called as a coastal topography. If it is formed on account of the winds, it is called aerolial topography. What is it called as a aerolial topography? First, we went on discussing about all these things. So, alluvial topography, aerolial topography, glacial topography, karst topography, coastal topography. Right now, we have discussed glacial topography, we discussed coastal topography, and we'll see what are the remaining three topographies. First, alluvial topography. I told you that because of the running water is nothing but rivers. Because of the rivers, some topographies are created. What are topographies? Valleys, erosion topographies, pathholes, entrenched meanders, gorges, river terraces. All these are nothing but these are erosional topographies. And coming to river water topography, depositional, alluvial fans, deltas, floodplains, natural leaves, and meanders. All these are nothing but depositional topographies. So, when you come to this, I told you that a river will have three phases. One is called as a youth stage, one is called as a mature stage, and one is called as a old age. Okay, old stage of the river. Now, different landforms are created. For example, pathholes. When the river water falls, along with that waterfall, you get some boulders. These rocks will move out here, creating these pathholes. Okay, these are created by themselves. No one has physically created this. River terraces. When the river floods, it takes the sheets of land along with us, erodes the sheets of land. And these sheets of land eroded are called as terraces. What are they called as terraces? So this is called river terraces. Entrenched meanders. What is it called as entrenched meanders? What are these entrenched meanders? These are the running water river that cuts the land, the weak points of the land from bottom to top in a increased width. In an increased width, the river cuts the landform. That is called as a entrenched meander with a snake-like kind of a flow. This is called entrenched meanders. So this is an example of entrenched meanders. Coming to gorges. Here the river is cutting the landform equally from bottom to top. Bottom to top they will be equally cut. So this is called as a gorges. What are they called as gorges? So, and coming to the depositional landforms of the river. So when you see depositional landforms, first of all meanders, oxbow lake. So whenever the water in the river increases, river will take a new course like this. When river takes a new course, what will happen? This new course will again go back to old course. Then lake will be formed. This is called oxbow lake. When oxbow lake dries off, it becomes a meander scar. It becomes what? Meander scar. And these are the point bars, these are the undercut banks, and these are the natural leaves. So these are all different depositional landforms of the rivers. And very important, alluvial landforms. Alluvial fans. What is alluvial fans? When a river is coming in between the mountains from an altitude, when it drops down, it starts depositing all the sediment that it brought here. In which shape? In a triangular shape. And this is called as alluvial fan. What is it called? Alluvial fan. You can see the realistic picture here. And next one is nothing but aerolial topography. Aerolial topography is caused on account of winds. Okay. What are the different aerolial topographies? First of all, depositional topographies. When a wind is moving, wind will create something called as dunes. These are called as sand dunes. And these dunes are given different names based on their shapes. For example, when the wind is blowing like this, if this kind of dunes are formed, these are called as birchens. Okay. If reverse way, this kind of dunes are formed, these are called as parabolic dunes. Okay. Wind is blowing in this direction, but the dunes are formed like this, perpendicular to the direction of the wind. They are called as what is it called as transverse dunes. When dunes are formed in a dome shape like this. Okay, Then these are called as dome dunes, is also called as star dunes. And if the winds are parallel to the direction of the wind, then they are called as longitudinal winds. Here it's not there, I'll show you the other place. Okay, so these are dunes. I'll show you other things also. Mushroom rocks. This is also wind erosional topography. So when the wind is blowing like this, the bottom part of the rock is weak, so everything got eroded. Only some part is left. But the top part of the rock is hard, so it is kept as it is. Here also, top part of the rock is hard, it is kept like this, bottom part is eroded. Here, bottom is hard, top is hard, middle is weak. So middle part is eroded. This is called demoscillus. So this is Yardan also. Okay. Inselbergs. What is the meaning of inselbergs? Because of the wind momentum, all the things which are beside this, everything got eroded. Only one rock is left like this. This is called as a inselberg. What is that called? Inselberg. This you see in a high altitude regions mostly. Yeah, this is called as a wind window. What is it called as a wind window? So when you take this complete rock, there is a weak point at the center. That weak point completely got eroded. As this weak point completely got eroded, this formed like a window. And these are called as ripple marks. Okay. Why they got ripple marks? See, the wind is deposited in such a way that ripples, it is deposited. So they are called as ripple marks. And I told you different types of winds. So Burchens. Opposite to Burchens is nothing but parabolic dunes. And if the dunes are formed in the direction of the wind, they are called as longitudinal dunes. If the dunes are formed perpendicular to the direction of the wind, then they are called transverse dunes. If the dunes are formed like domes or stars, they are called star dunes or dome dunes. Okay. Sometimes Burchens also will convert into transverse dunes. So this is an example of that. So those are nothing but, those whatever we discussed, nothing but aerial topographies. Now, groundwater topographies. Last time we also did not discover limestone pavements. I'll tell you what is that. When the groundwater gets inside, it will start melting the stones such as limestone, dolomite, gypsum. Because of this, it will create some landforms. There can be erosion landforms or depositional landforms. What are they? First and the foremost. Okay, we'll see here. Yeah. See here. Caverns. Caverns are nothing but underground caves. What is it called as? Underground caves. So these are called as caverns. Okay. So inside whatever is a dolomite or a limestone, everything got melted because of the water and a cave got created inside. Okay. So this is called underground caves or caverns. And natural bridge. Sometimes what happens, in this only, when there is one sinkhole here, one more sinkhole here, between one bridge kind of thing will be formed here. So that is called as a arch or natural bridge. So from bottom to top it goes on like this. Okay, that's called arch or it is called as a natural bridge. Sinkholes, see here. So what exactly is happening? Underneath there is a limestone or there is something called as a dolomite. Now because of the water getting into, everything got melt. As everything got melt, above there was a ground. This ground is not finding any support bottom. So what will happen? It will sink inside. After sinking, it forms something called as a sinkhole. What is it called as a sinkhole? So this is example of what? Karst topography. Example of what? Karst topography. Karst window. When two sinkholes are formed, now there will be like empty point between. Here there is a hole, here there is a hole. So this is called as a karst window. What is it called as a karst window? This is something we did not discuss earlier. There is nothing but limestone pavements. See here, normal ground, in between there was a limestone. Now because of the flow of the water happened, this limestone got melt. Whatever limestone present inside, in between, everything got melt. As it got melt, okay, a pavement got created. These are called as a limestone pavements. What are they called as a limestone pavement? So this is also one of the erosional landforms of the karst topographies. Now coming to the depositional landforms. When you come to depositional landforms, what exactly happens? Inside that caverns, water keeps on coming, and this water will have a soluble limestone. Now slowly what happens, the limestone will got deposited like this, and it keeps on hanging from top to bottom. So whatever that is hanging from top to bottom, these are called as the stalactites. What are they called as? The stalactites. This is called as stalactites. Okay. So the ones that are hanging from bottom top to bottom, which are actually a sediments formed on account of limestone or dolomite, they are called as stalactites. Now when the water is falling down slowly, below also there will be some forms which are developing here. So these are which are rising from the bottom to top are called as stalagmites. What are they called as? Stalagmites. Now when stalactites and stalagmites combine, they become something called as a column. What is it called as a column? So we have got stalactites, we have got stalagmites, and we have got a column. So what is stalactites? Here, these are the stalactites, and these are the stalagmites, and these are the columns. All columns are formed initially small drop formed. Slowly this has increased in size, this also increased in size. Both of them came very close to each other, and both of them combined. They combined and they became something called as a column. Okay, so these are like a pillars inside the caves, which are called as a columns. Okay, next, glacier topography that we discussed today, right? One is because of plucking, one is because of abrasion. Okay, and what are different glacier topographies? Cirques, arids, horns, hanging valleys, glacial valleys or glacial troughs. Okay, all these are nothing but erosional landforms of the glaciers. Okay, now when you come to moraines, moraines are nothing but these are the depositions brought down by the glaciers, sand and other soil or rocks, rock deposits. Okay, these are called as the moraines. Moraines are again of different types. What are different types? Terminal moraines, end moraines, recessional moraines. So all these are nothing but different moraines. Okay. Now these are outwash plains. What is the meaning of outwash plains? When the glacier moves and it but certain point of time it stops movement, but underneath the water gets melt, and the melt water will bring the sand and everything and create a plain that is called as a outwash plains. And then we discuss very important eskers and cames. Eskers are nothing but depositions by the glaciers at the last phase. And these deposits are in the form of ridges and which are called as eskers. If the deposits are in the form of a small hill, that is called as a came. What is it called as a cames? So cames and eskers. Next, drumlins. Drumlins are nothing but these are also depositional by the glaciers, which are oval shaped hills. What kind of hills? Oval shaped hills. Those oval shaped hills are called as drumlins. They're called as what? Drumlins. So we see these eskers, drumlins, and moraines, all these things. Then final one, what we say is nothing but coastal topographies. So because of the sea water also, the topographies are created. What are topographies? Yeah, this one I didn't tell you, right? See here. When the sea water comes here, it keeps on hitting and it creates first a cave. After cave, it will become water arch. After arch, it will become water stack. After stack, it will become water a stump. It will convert into something small thing that's called as a stump. Now here if you see, the sea water hitting, it has actually eroded this part completely. Okay. For example, if the sea level increases, when the sea level increases, then it will not hit here, it will hit here. As it hits here top, again here also its erosion will happen. Again at higher level, again here erosion will happen. So how is erosion happening? Like this, like this, like this. So these are called as wave cut platforms or wave terraces. What is that called as? Wave cut platforms or wave terraces. You can see here some wave cut platforms. Okay, like this. So these are all these are something like stumps. Okay, all these are created here. Okay, see here. Cave, arch. Okay, you got a stack, you got stump, bay. All these. These are all nothing but these are the erosional topographies. Coming to depositional. Depositional topography first is barrier spit. So some part of the ocean is stopped by this barrier spit. If it completely stops, it's called as a barrier bay. So complete bay is barrier, means it is stopped. When the barrier bay happens, inside the water stands, then that is called as a lagoon, which is nothing but salt water lake lagoons. Okay, formed because of the ocean water. Okay, and this may be called as even estuaries also, backwaters. Coming backwards also called as estuaries also. Okay, so this is all from my end, and do remember that we can learn much more geography part here, and you can become part of an academy platform to make your preparation very serious and a very long term process. So the way is nothing but be part of an academy platform by getting access from the top educators on the platform. Okay, and these are the benefits that you get from being part of an academy. What are the benefits that you get? You get unlimited access to all the courses, structured live and free special classes, live doubt clearing sessions. EMI payment option is also available here. Okay, very important. And you can also download the study material after the completion of the session, not in YouTube but on the platform. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to have a lot of special classes also on the platform. So we'll come with the diverse way topics on special classes. Be part of those special classes. Okay, and you can also write test. Free test is available. It's available freely for everyone. Daily 2020 championship is available. You can make use of this. And one more important thing is that when you go for subscription, based on your requirement, choose your requirement first. As per your requirement, select the time period for which you want this one. So you want it for 6 months, you want it for 12 months, or you want it for 24 months. Based upon that, take it subscription and use the referral code NRK10 to get 10% discount on your subscription fees. Okay, and the process is nothing but go to your app, select the time period, put your NRK10 referral code, NRK10 as the referral code, and then start getting the benefit like this. Okay, all the best to see you. It was a great session with you all. And today's, if you have attended today's session, you would have covered a good part of landforms, erosional and depositional landforms. So, thank you everyone. See you again some other time. Thank you. Bye bye.